Well, I'm Santa here. I guess I can touch my face because I just washed my hands. I don't know what to do. Oh, well, I'm at Ground Zero. I'm in New York, and schools are closed. The restaurants are closed. Restaurants have been closed. It's only a week so far. I think they close on the 16th, a little bit more, 10 days maybe. The bars are closed. You can put in orders at a bar; they'll bring them to you, but you can just go to the liquor store and get all that stuff for much less. So, all the bartenders, sorry guys, but New York under the plague is an interesting place. There aren't a lot of parking spots. I'm surprised about that. People aren't getting in their cars and moving out, at least from where I am. I try to go biking every day, incognito. I don't wear the outfit, and basically, I spend my time with a new cat. Doesn't have a name yet. The new cat is trying to get along with the old cat, who is 3 times as big. And this cat is a bit on the pushy side. Don't you agree? So, what can we say about plagues throughout history? Bubonic plague killed a third half of all Europeans in the 1300s. Now, economic historians look at that and they say that was actually positive in the long run because by reducing the labor force, the laborers had more power and were no longer as they no the lords didn't have as much feudal lords didn't have as much power over them, and people moved to cities, and that changed things. And so, without the Black Plague, you probably don't have the Renaissance in the 1400s to the 1600s. Maybe not even the Reformation. Gutenberg might have not invented the printing press. And there were plagues. I think after the fall of the Roman Empire, the so-called fall of the Roman Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire, rather, centered at Constantinople, was able to reunite the empire until about 541. Then plague hit there. And bubonic plague, it basically hits the lymph system, the lymph nodes, and but it can also hit the blood system and or what else can it do? Pulmonary system? I don't think so. I can't remember the third one. But mainly it's the lymph system. And people didn't know. That's a bacteria. That's not a virus. And it's not smallpox. And it's not the Spanish flu. I shouldn't say Spanish flu. It's not the flu from Spain. I shouldn't say that either. It's not the 1918 flu where people would die in 12 days. No, I'm sorry, 12 hours. They get it and they die. That killed 50 million, 100 million. We don't even know how much. That's a lot. That's a lot of people to die. It is. By the way, this is one of my 2 talking cats. Hi. I have never named it. And I don't want to get into what our president has done to squander the time, the warning we had. We knew on New Year's Eve that there was this new flu in China. China. That's right, he's right. China. That was like at a 3-week point. Had the genome by January 9th. And unfortunately, I guess everyone in the world thought that by taking people's temperature, just by taking people's temperature, you could find the flu. Because if people had a temperature, it didn't mean they had the flu, but if they didn't have one, it meant they didn't have it. Except that was wrong. Because, as we all know now, we can carry it around for 5 days, maybe even longer, without showing any symptoms. That's called asymptomatic transition. Okay. So it's called asymptomatic transmission, and a lot of like bubonic plague, you don't have that. Syphilis, you can have it, but you have to have sex with someone, pretty much. I mean, if they have a sore and you touch it, it's not on their sexual parts, you can also get it. Syphilis, it appears in about this in the 1490s rather, right after Columbus comes back. So it might have been an American disease that went to Europe, and it got known during the Italian Wars in the mid 1790s. Um, in the mid 1790s, it was the French called it the Italian disease. The Italian called it the French disease, and the no one called it the Chinese virus. So, well, it wasn't from China. They didn't know where it was from. And then cholera is water sourced. Fecal matter gets into water, and if it's carrying cholera, then it can attack you. What are the other big ones? Oh, yellow fever. That's mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are the vector. But this one, the vector are those little water droplets in the air. So you should have distance between people. I'm not going to give you advice on masks because I don't know about it. Yeah. I think my beard helps me, but I'm not sure. But life under the plague continues in New York. This is Glum Santa saying good night. Keep well. It's March 26th now, just after midnight. And it's another day. And from my point, I can see all of New York. Well, not all of New York. New York's pretty big. And hopefully, we'll get through this time, even though we only have about a third of the hospital beds we're supposed to need. You're not going to have to go to the hospital, I hope. Bye-bye. This is Glum Santa, about to let the cat out down.